I just want to start off today's press conference. Obviously, this is a new week, but there was a lot to be learned from last week. And that starts with me making sure that our team's ready to go in every opportunity, every situation that we are in. I've been able to learn a lot here in the beginning of this season. I've been able to learn a lot day by day, and through all the experiences, I've grown to have excitement about our program, our team, and mainly, it's our players, it's their care factor, it's how they understand and know that our goal is still right in front of us. They know that our opportunity to accomplish what we set out to do is still right in front of us. Yesterday, we obviously had to make a tough decision with our offensive coordinator position. I love Tim Plough. I'm very grateful for his friendship, our time together. But it was just a time that we needed to make a change with the leadership of our offense. Ultimately, all three phases, everything underneath this roof is my responsibility. And I take that with great pride, great gratitude for being in the position I'm in. It is ultimately my responsibility to put these young men, this program, in the best position possible. Again, I'm very thankful for Tim Plough and the time he has spent here, the energy, the dedication he's put in. But moving forward, Dirk Koetter will be our offensive coordinator and also coach our quarterbacks. It provides us an opportunity to reorganize our process, create rhythm for our offensive staff, in turn our offensive players. We're very excited about our offensive guys. We know that they're very capable. We've seen them do it. We just have not done it consistently. I'm very excited about our offensive coaches. They've been consistent and relentless in working to find ways to help our offense get better. That being said, again, I take responsibility for all three phases when it comes to us being on the field: offense, defense, special teams. And it is my responsibility to make sure that we are putting these young men in the best position possible to succeed. With that, I'll take further questions.
Coach, was Friday's game the tipping point for Plough, or had there been discussions about potentially making that move leading up to that game?
No, there was a lot of evaluations, just like we said after the game. We need to watch the film. We need to take why did certain things happen. Where can we create a better level of consistency? And there were no conversations prior to that. I've come up here and I've supported Coach Plough, and again, I love that guy. This is not an easy deal, but it's the right time for our team, for our players, and those decisions to get to the point where we were not made until after the game.
How much of what's not working on offense was play calling?
You know what? The play calling and those things are a result of the process. It doesn't just start on game day. And that's really where, to your last question, it doesn't, hey, the game's over and, we need to make a change. It takes a lot of reflection and going back and analyzing and going back not just 1 week but multiple weeks, and what does our process look like? How are we organizing? How are we creating confidence? How are we creating a certain mentality? Because we have the right young men. Now, there's no excuses ever. Were we a little light? Yeah, we were, but we got the right young men. And to be able to build that confidence into them so that they can play with a certain mentality, we can create rhythm on offense, we can execute more consistently up front, through the air, and everywhere in between, and get all 11 to do it consistently on the field. I know we have the right young men to do that. I know we have the right coaches in there to do that will be led by Coach Koetter.
And what are your specific issues with this offense that led to this weekend's decision?
Well, just exactly what we were just talking about. Mike, again, I know we were a little light the other day, and we're not going to talk about that because the bottom line is we're capable of being better than that, more consistent. It starts with the process. It starts with how we implement things. And ultimately, I'm responsible for, again, all three phases. It was a time where I felt like, Coach Koetter could really help the offensive staff with the implementation of things, the organization of things. Coach Plough is an extremely bright coach. But sometimes a little fresh air and change, obviously, can help spark some things. And I know Coach Koetter is going to do a good job. And it's, like anything else, it's all the little things that we're going to need to do consistently, the structure that will be created that will eventually add up over time.
Scheme-wise, what do you want from this offense, and is it different now than maybe it was a month ago?
You know what? From the onset of this, okay, we sought out to create an offense here that is efficient, explosive at the line of scrimmage, through the air, that is going to take care of the ball and is going to be multiple from the standpoint of personnels, from the standpoint of tempo. And obviously in the world of being a defensive coordinator, those are the things that make it difficult on defenses. But within that, the structure, it really comes down to this. It really comes down to always the scheme is built by fundamentals and techniques and how consistently we play with those with confidence and mentality. And there's a lot of different styles of offenses that are successful, but it's a commitment to the rhythm and being able to put our guys in the right positions, in the right situations, whether it's down and distance, field position-wise, and being able to build those confidence into them through our process, throughout the week, throughout practice, throughout film study, throughout walkthroughs, and that's where I know we'll make a jump. Again, these things take time, and it will be a process of growing that I'm excited about, not only for our offense, but for our entire team.
I know that Dirk was obviously involved so far this season, but how much more will this require from him, and how receptive of it is? I mean, I guess the guy.
It's a lot. It's a lot more. He wasn't nearly as involved as obviously he is now as the leader and organizer of the offense and of these of the young men, and obviously our offensive coaches. Prior to it was being out in front of opponent scout, helping with the efficiencies of our offense, helping with some of the organization and being a sounding board in certain situations. So it is a great deal more, and so he's got a lot of things on his plate right now, but we're just, for him to be able to step up in this moment and be able to help us make this jump, we're grateful for.
It does say that it's just for the rest of this season. Will that be the case? Will you have to eventually hire that position?
Yeah, we're focused on right now, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fairness to our program, our fans, right? Our players and our offensive coaches, all we are is focused on right now and making sure that we're all doing everything we can to help him as he starts to create his rhythm, which will obviously become the rhythm of our offense.
To Jay's question, how receptive was Dirk? Was that an immediate yes? Did you have to talk about it?
We had, there was conversations. As you guys know, we're talking about a program. We're talking about human beings. There's a lot of things that needed to be discussed, and we obviously do not have the time within the period we have right now for this media segment to go through that stuff. But there's a lot of things. There's a lot of calculated moves. There is creating a plan to be able to move forward. And what does that look like? What is it going to take? What is the help that he's going to need? What is the structure set up that I can help with to ensure that he can be successful over time? And, again, we're grateful. He was in retirement. The role he has now is not nearly what it was prior to, obviously, yesterday afternoon.
Andy, how did it get to this point? I mean, Dirk was in the room a little bit. I mean, you've seen the offensive struggles for a couple weeks now. I mean, why did it get to this point and there wasn't, something, an intervention, some change a couple weeks ago?
In terms of change of a coach or change of an offense?
Offense.
Yeah, so, I mean, as I said, it's all my responsibility. Everything underneath this roof is my responsibility. And again, I'm grateful for that. I take great pride in it, and I'm thankful for the people that are around helping. And Dirk obviously was a part of this since the springtime. We've tried to make the adjustments in helping with the process and the organization of what is best for our guys, and being able to empower people to move forward and bring the plan to life. Obviously, we have not been able to sustain rhythm within that and be productive on the field. And so with that, again, we believe in our players. We believe that we have the right pieces in place. And obviously that led to us having to make a tough decision.
It's a short week this week. How much emphasis with Dirk Koetter's fingers now, especially as the quarterback coach, will there be on the quarterback position leading up to a decision on Friday night?
Yeah, so, I mean, again, the rhythm of the offense starts with our staff in that position. And getting those guys in a position of confidence, real confidence, that starts with the process this week, the implementation of the plan, which, to your point, drastically things aren't going to get changed from a structure standpoint. That doesn't make sense. But there will be things adjusted to be able to allow these quarterbacks to get in rhythm. We won't put so much on them at the line of scrimmage so that they can play freely, so that they can create rhythm, so that they can play the game. And obviously, Coach has a ton of experience with knowing. He knows these guys. He's been around them for months now. He knows what they can handle. He knows what they can't handle. He knows the areas that we have to get them to improve in. And to be honest with you, I'm excited for these young men to be able to have Coach Koetter around them.
At this point, do you anticipate Hank being the starter on Friday? And if so, are you concerned at all about his confidence?
It's change like this is always tough on everybody. It's not easy, Mike. But it's how you move forward. And it's how we work together. And yesterday there was a great response from the team. Obviously, we all love Coach Plough, but there was a great response from the team. Yes, has Dirk been around Hank? Yeah. Have they talked a lot about quarterback play, just as a mentor and things like that? Yes, they have. So it's not like it's someone that he's not familiar with. It's not something like TG's not familiar, Sam's not familiar. I'm excited for all these guys to learn and grow. And to be able to use his experience of coaching multiple talented quarterbacks at all levels of this game.
If you have an offense that's struggling, is there an added benefit of going to a quarterback like Talon, who has the athleticism to kind of create a spark on his own?
There is. I mean, I think there's benefits. There's benefits to bringing new air to the room. There's benefits. And as we move forward, again, I'm excited to see all three of these quarterbacks. I'm excited to see Hank be around Coach Koetter full time. I'm excited to see how we're able to get that whole room in rhythm again, because it starts with our offensive staff. It starts with myself. It starts with us creating rhythm. We've had, and I was asked multiple times the other night, Talon's had, a package in every single game. There was certain situations where he was supposed to go in certain games. We obviously have not gotten to those. We got to be more efficient with those, with the plan to implement those and the plan to use those within the game.
Maybe this question's irrelevant, but when it comes to Talon, you guys made a quick decision in the season opener to try to put him in and change something on offense. But why was that different, I guess, than Paso?
Well, in the first half there, Jay, I mean, there was 4 drives, and there was a scenario where TG was going to get a drive going into the 4th series, and the 4th series ended up being 2-minute right before, and the majority of the reps had been banked in that situation with Hank. And Hank operates that situation, that is something that Hank's actually done well in practice against both our defenses, the first team and the second team, and has shown to handle that situation better. So to make the right decision for the team at that point, it was obviously to keep Hank in there.
How's Gutter going to be upstairs or downstairs?
All that stuff we still want to work through the course of this week. But yeah.
With Dirk, the fact that he was here, I mean, how much did that allow you to move forward with your current plan? Because you know him so well, he is so knowledgeable, he has been around the team. I mean, not a lot of people have the luxury of having a guy like him as an analyst, let alone in a situation like this. How much did that help you move in this direction?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is, again, wanting to be able to put our guys in the best situation, and we got a very experienced and knowledgeable coach in the building. He knows our players, and that's the most important thing, our players, because we love these guys and we believe in these guys, and we believe, in our offensive staff being able to do this together. Coach and being around the program already obviously is a big deal. It'd be very difficult if he wasn't, and when you can't bring someone in from the outside.
How and when did you tell the players about Plough's exit, and what was their reaction?
Like I said, it's tough. It's tough for me. This is not a situation, that obviously in the role comes up, but not a situation we want to be in. Again, I love Plough. I'm grateful for his friendship. I'm grateful for his hard work and everything that he's put in here. There's just unfortunate circumstances, and I know the team feels the same way. But I also know this too. I know our guys know the potential we have and the things that we are capable of doing. And they know and understand too the experience that is coming into the room now. And, again, it's not, these things just don't get fixed overnight. It's going to be stacking up the little things done right correctly day after day after day to create that real confidence that is able to create that consistency and that rhythm.
Andy, not a lot of coaches at this level get the opportunity to coach their son. I don't know if Dirk's ever got to coach Davis before. Was that at all part of the pitch? Do you think that was all part of the selling point for Dirk to have this opportunity?
No, it's not about that. You know what? I mean, those two guys are selfless in the fact that it's a position where if we were going to go this route, Dirk was the right man for it. He was the only man for it. Now, we have other coaches on our staff, too, that are going to have increased roles. Within Matt Miller, it's going to be awesome for him to help coach and have more to say, more to do, and helping within our offensive structure. And Nate Potter within the run game and being able to build those things. But, yeah, none of it had to do with, Davis. Obviously, it's a unique situation, but Coach has been around here for the last, 6 months with us.
You talked about, there being a lack of confidence in the guys and, perhaps, Coach Plough not instilling that in them. Was that because he was putting too much on their plate, like what you're talking about, quarterbacks having so much to think about at the line of scrimmage?
I am talking about creating more confidence, real confidence. It creates a certain mentality that requires this game to be played with consistently. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into what happened or what was done, but that I'm focusing on the things going forward. And the number one deal is that is created through process and organization and bringing everything together. There's 11 guys on the field. It's not just one position room. It's all levels. It's the O-line. It's the wide receivers. It's the running backs. It's the quarterbacks. It's the tight ends. This is the greatest team sport. And bringing everybody together on one side of the ball, special teams, defense, bringing everybody together as a whole team, that's the art in it right there.
You opened this press conference up by saying that you still learn all the time. What have you learned about yourself in the last 36 hours?
You know what? I've learned a lot. And one of the things that, and even through some of these questions, I'm not worried about the long term, how long What's the plan of the coach? How long? I'm worried about and focused on our players right now, today, this week, and how we grow forward from here. The biggest thing that I've learned is that I've got to be very calculated with the plan moving forward. I've got to put people into positions. And again, I don't just make these decisions by myself. What I've learned is that I got people around me that I can trust. I got people around me that believe in the direction we're going. From staff, from players. The players give me the motivation. To be honest with you, to answer your question about how the players were yesterday, it was a tough day. But they put the energy into me too, because they're awesome. The things that I learned is that, in times of adversity, you really find out who the real people are. And I'm very grateful for all the people that are around us.
What is your assessment after 4 games of your offensive line? You had to make a lot of tweaks, but a red shirt or a true freshman.
Yeah, we've moved around the personnel, but not by choice, obviously. Not by choice. But I will say this about our offensive line. I love those guys, and they're capable, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. And that's the bottom line. And there's only one thing to do but to get to work and put it into place. And I'm excited. I'm excited to do that. That is my role, in terms of helping the offenses, getting the scout team squared away so that our offensive line can get great work in. And that's on me to make sure that I do a really good job with that, again, to put our guys in the best position possible.
Why has KHG struggled so much this season, do you think?
Say it again.
Why has KHG struggled so much this season, do you think?
Cade?
KHG, sorry. Kekon.
You know what? I mean, he was a little – number one, he hadn't played football in a real game in a year, okay? And obviously he's not in the lineup right now. He's playing a little banged up, right? He wasn't in the lineup the other night. So I don't foresee it being an issue going forward when he jumps back in there. I think like anything else, I mean, I know this. He's an extremely smart player, and I'm excited about what he brings to the table and what he'll do going forward the rest of the season.
How much was he chopping a bit to help in that game? I mean, I know that he went on the final drive, but if you're on the sidelines, he was doing quite a bit of.
Yeah, he that was the situation. Some guys are going to err on the side, and throughout the years of playing this sport, guys like him, I mean, we had to hold him. We had to hold him from going in there, and that was an emergency situation. We only knew that if he went in, there was only a certain amount of plays based off of our medical team that he was gonna be able to play. And I mean, if it was up to him, he would have played the whole game, but that wasn't the right thing to do, unfortunately. But you know what? That's what this game is about, is next man up, and we'll continue to grow. The depth within our offensive line, amongst the. Some of the troubles that we've had there. The positive is that there's guys getting game experience and guys that are going to be better for it down the road here.
Can I ask a question about the Aztecs?
Yes, please do.
Last one, Bob.
Want to know what you think are the greatest challenges San Diego State's going to present? They've been one of the tougher teams in the conference. So,
Well, year in, year out, I mean, Coach Hoke has done an unbelievable job, obviously, with this program. The defense is stout, a similar structure that we saw a couple of weeks ago. Down in New Mexico. Their front is aggressive, physical, athletic. And the way they mix up their coverages in their rotations has obviously been a challenge for people over the course of the years. They've always come with a strong run game attack that involves a quarterback number, and they have a lot of length on the outside. So the run fit numbers and handling the wide receivers on the outside present issues that we obviously have to get squared away. I know that, this is a physical team. This is a team that believes heavily in mentality, and especially at the line of scrimmage. And so it will require us, in this week to be our very best. And as we spoke about last night, us focusing on us. We have an opponent who is very, very good, but we need to focus on us and how we handle our process and come together. Thank you, guys.